And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dayo.
Welcome back. I still have Factor 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt, the number one top news and sports radio station, and Dayo Campus Fashion Screening. Thanks for showing. Now, earlier today, some interesting piece of information, and I thought I might make for this conversation on the show. I got reports that some school, some state-run school, or what we refer to as public school here in Rivers State in Port Harcourt, the principal of this school single-handedly decided on a certain very strange policy, and that is that students of JSS 3 or students in JSS 3 in that school would wear a different or a special kind of uniform, different from what other students in that school wear. And of course this would have certain implications, and as you might correctly imagine, it would have financial implications on the students or their parents and guardians as well. This development taking place in this school, and what exactly it portends for not just this school or the students or their parents, but even other schools as well. The implications is what we're discussing at this time. And joining me in the studio, I've got two lawyers in the studio who will be discussing this matter with me and giving some insight as to this development. Two lawyers I mentioned a while ago. I've got Ifeoma Agbo is here. Ifeoma, good evening to you. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you very much.
Also, Stephanie Ekpebulu is here as well. Stephanie, great to have you in the studio also.
Thank you very much, Dayo.
So, if I'll start with you, could you tell the story? Could you narrate what we discussed earlier today?
Okay. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity, because they say information is power, and when you are not properly informed, you will be deformed. It happened at the exact hour of 8:40 when some other persons that told me that they were asked to change their school uniform. I went to the school to find out whether that is the true position and the price, because they told me it's 5,500, which the principal himself, I met him and he confirmed to me that that is the true position.
What is the name of the principal?
The principal is Dr. George. I can't remember his surname.
Okay.
Yes. So I now asked him what's the essence. He said the essence is to distinguish between JS1 and 2 students and JS3. I said, distinguish them for what purpose? He said, it's not actually new school uniform, that is just a reform. I said, what kind of reform? In this economic hardship that everybody is complaining, that most of the students there are indigent. We know what government school, what public school is all about today in Nigeria. Despite the UBE, government is trying and putting in every effort to ensure that every child has the basic education, but some agents are sabotaging that.
Once again, this school is
Community Secondary School, Rumekini.
All right, so Stephanie, I'd like you to weigh in on this matter. What do you know about this development?
Well, she called me this morning, to inform me about what she had just relayed here. And I was really disappointed. And I just said to her, you see, government, at least to an extent, has tried, to ensure that this basic education, is afforded by parents and guardians who have, some of them have, more than 5-6 children at home. And if for any reason people who are supposed to be at the hem of affairs, to ensure that government's effort is being carried to the letter, will be the same persons trying to frustrate the effort, then it's really disheartening. So this brings to mind, like what we discussed the other time I was here. We should learn how to see how we can help one another. If the government has tried to say, okay, this is what we can do for persons who cannot afford the kind of schools that other people can afford, why should people who are there to man, the affairs of that small place be the same persons to frustrate the efforts of the parents and guardians who want to see their children, get this education? So it's really disheartening, actually. It is.
By the way, the principal of Community Secondary School, Rumekine. You're very much welcome to, if that person is listening or any other person who knows the principal, can reach out to him. Very much welcome to come by the station, come on Hard Fact as well, at your earliest convenience, to explain your side of things. But back to you, Ifeoma. So in your conversation with the principal today, did you inquire as to whether or not this is a state policy? Is it why?
Ask him that question, as if to say I knew that it's going to be relevant, and he answered me, no, but that it operates at Alo, Community Secondary School Alo, and I don't know whether that is the school where he's coming from. Maybe he's now trying to implement it at Rumekini here. So he said that it's not a general thing. It's just his own policies, his own initiative. And another thing that he said that I cannot really picture or fathom very well, he told me that he doesn't have any other private school except this. I don't know where to place that statement. Is it now that you are trying to run a public school as a private school? Some parents and some guardians have seen the economic hardship and implication of sending children to a private school, and you are trying to deny them that duty, because it's duty upon every parent to ensure that your child is in school. It's even a criminal offense when your child is within the education age and the child is not in school. It's even an offense. And then the parents will now, despite not being able to feed well and all that, they notice that they cannot afford private school, and they now said, okay, since the government have made the public school affordable for all, let's send our children to public school. Now the principal is now using school uniform. The school uniform is not even as if it's for JS1 and above. It's just specifically for JS3. I can't just reason it.
No, you said you asked the principal the reason for the distinction, because the principal explained to you, okay, why are we doing this? Oh, we want to distinguish them, to identify them separately from JS1 and 2. And you asked why. Was there a reason given for that?
He said it's for proper discipline.
Proper discipline?
Yes, sir.
How would that discipline them exactly?
I wish that the principal would answer that, because I inquired further. Even the other staff, teachers in the school, they were kind of, madam, you don't take time here, you have stayed long here, that I have to shout. Are you people trying to bully me? If you can treat a parent like this, how much more students, how much more pupils? That I'm here to make an inquiry, because I noticed that there is a collaboration between the principal and the staff. Maybe they felt that I want to pour and sand into their gari, and they went to the extent of asking me, how much can I afford to pay? That means they want to give me what some people can call subsidy or soft landing. But I told them it's not just for me. What about that woman that sells fried sakara? The one that sells okra inside the market? If I can, what about other people that I'm paying for their children? What happens to them? Or will you take care of all of them? So, in fact, I can't just comprehend. And they say that the uniform has not actually arrived. That's why they've not started enforcing it. That the woman that is sewing it at Abba is delaying delivery. That at any moment, because I told the principal that you are going to cause psychological effect, on students that cannot afford to buy this uniform. You might see them, they might to start out things which might have negative implications on their life in order to get it. 5,500 easy and simple to many, but I tell you, with what I'm seeing around and in this room, million.
No, obviously the school has use. And I imagine that is being paid for. Do you know how much the current uniform costs?
The current uniform in that school that is what I observed this morning. Because when I for 3 pairs, but now I noticed that they are collecting 7,000 naira for the same 3 pairs. But this particular one for JS3, they said it is 5,500 for a pair, for just 1 pair.
Just for GSS3 students?
Only for GSS3 students.
The phone lines are open right now. Any thoughts on this development? If you're a parent or a guardian as well, you've got a child or ward at Rumekini Community Secondary School, I'd like to get your take on this as well. Do call in. The numbers to call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, and 0817 93 0007. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Hello, Dayo. Good evening.
Hi, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank your guest in the studio. I think this is out of wickedness. Knowing too well that how secondary school people have changed now, that after just 1 to just 3, that they will still show new uniform that they will wear from SS1 to SS3. So if you force these students to show a new uniform in JS3, you are costing the parents more money to show more money to school new uniform when they get to SS1. I think it's a start of wickedness, and that should be existed. Thank you so much, madam. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Walter. Emmanuel, hello, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Dayo, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
I just want to appreciate you and your guest in the office. But I just want to make a little bit contribution.
Make it quick, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have listened to the woman and all the conversations. To me, based on my own understanding, but where I wanted to be a little bit confused is because it's a public school. But I know that where my children are going to school, there is different school uniform from junior secondary and the same from senior secondary. There must be a differentiation. They don't wear the same school uniform.
But Emmanuel, slight clarification here. What this principal is doing is different uniform for JSS 3 only, not SS1.
Okay,
not different for junior or senior. So JSS 1 and 2 and 3, they wear the same uniform, but the principal is now trying to enforce a different uniform for JSS 3 only.
Okay, but the matter can be resolvable too.
Emmanuel, great to hear from you. I have to go for commercial break right now. Headline news at the bottom of the hour. Discussions continue right afterwards. Do please stay with us.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Good evening, I am Constance Mega with the news. Rivers State Executive Council approves for state government to borrow billions to fund projects. Former Senator Magnus Abe criticized for saying he is still an APC member. Northern governors hold emergency meeting in Kaduna State. Fresh bandit attack leaves scores of people dead in village in Kaduna. Suspected Boko Haram insurgents attack community in Yobe State. Bandits attack joint military camp in Sokoto State. House of Representatives holds public hearing on 4 bills, including bill to designate November as National Appreciation Month for security agencies. INEC promises to introduce new ways to make elections more transparent. River State government urged to leverage elephant sightings in Andoni as World Marks Tourism Day. On the foreign scene, earthquake in Greek island of Crete leaves at least 1 person dead. In business, stakeholders say profits are shrinking due to forex scarcity. In entertainment, fans of Big Brother Naija Shine Your Eye housemate Pere protest decision of show organizers for Pere to battle for place in finale with Angel. And those are the headlines. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Thank you for listening.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome back. I still had Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info and Herring Harkert and Dio. We got 27 minutes ago before top of the hour. 6 p.m. The meeting is up at 6. Before then, however, discussions continue. I've still got my guests in the studio, both of them lawyers. Ifeoma Agbo is here. Ifeoma, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Stephanie Ekpebulu is here as well. Steph, great to have you here also.
Thank you very much.
Now, we're discussing a development at community secondary school Rumekine, where reportedly the principal has mandated that JSS 3 students wear a different uniform from other students in a junior secondary category. And this school uniform, parents or guardians have been informed, will cost 5,500 naira for one pair. And the reason for that given is to distinguish JSS 3 students from other students and instill some discipline. I confess I do not quite understand those reasons. I don't find it quite logical. But Stephanie, I'll start with you this time. What concerns you about this development?
First and foremost, I am a mother. I'm a parent, and in our work as development people who are concerned about reorientating the minds of people to ensure that we have growth and development in our society, I am very much concerned. You know, these little things, in quotes, can turn to, to become something that can develop to something that would be, traumatizing to a lot of people. Like she said when she was talking, this can also, for those who cannot afford it, for those children whose parents and guardians cannot afford it, they definitely would begin to feel somehow. And then before you know, they will resort to self-help, which is like trying to see how they can raise the money to buy this uniform. And you never can tell what they will be exposed to, for the girls and for the boys. And we complain about children, of school age who are out there on the streets hawking. We complain about that. Sometimes you see from hawking on the streets, they grow to do something. They grow to pickpockets, they grow to stealing, they grow to do a lot of things. And the girls too begin to do a lot of things that they ought not to do at their ages. And we all know that it is the parents' responsibility to provide for their children. So when you begin to, levy people with this kind of money at a time when the economy is biting and when it's so unexpected, then of course we have troubles in our hands. So I'm really concerned, Dayo.
Were parents or guardians communicated as to this development? Were parents or guardians consulted as well? Were their opinions sought as to before the school or the principal decided to go with this program?
Okay. I'm a guardian in that school. As I said before now, it's not one, it's not two, it's not three words that I have in that school. I wasn't consulted. I wasn't called for any meeting. I've been expecting that school to call for PTA meeting, but it had never been called. Whether there is the existence of PTA at all, I can't say. But if there is one, I believe it's not functional. Because that would have been an avenue for parents to say about their expectations and what is going on that they are not comfortable with. Thank you.
The lines are open once again, 0817-963-0002 or 0003 or 0007. We've got Michael from Obigbo. You're welcome. Please go ahead. Michael, you're live. Go ahead, please. Hello, Michael from Agbo.
Good evening.
Hi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, so I heard the story from the woman. I don't think it's everything. We should have there should be outrage about everything we see. I think this principal is an administrator. He was given a position, and he came to do his work. And remember, we're talking for development, and for development to happen, everybody must bring their A game, their ingenuity. They must bring their thinking cap on and change the society. So this principal came in, and he saw that there is a need to distinguish between my JS3 students and the other junior classes. This is a public school, and we have a broad and clear knowledge of what public school in Nigeria looks like.
Michael, I have a question for you, Michael. Can you advance one plausible reason, just one, a plausible reason why you need to distinguish JSS3 students from other students via their uniform?
The first reason that comes to mind is that the JS3 students are the exam class of that particular school.
What do you mean by that?
They are writing the junior WAEC, or what you call basic examination,
okay,
and they're writing their NACO exam class. And in a public school where the children are basically not checked, maybe this principal has an idea where he wants to know who is my JS3 student, so that when he sees them, easily identifiable.
Okay, so the school does not know its JSS3 students. The school wants to identify its JSS3 students by their uniforms.
Yes.
Okay, Michael. All right, great to hear from you. Winston from GRA, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, good day. Yeah, the school board chairman or the director. Okay, Universal Basic Education Board. All right. Yeah, I think this thing should be properly investigated, and the principal, if it's found wanted, should be, because I'm hearing it for the first time that in Rivers State, that junior secondary 3 have a different school uniform, and the lady has spoken very well. It's not for her, but what happened to the lady that sell akara or crop vegetable? How will they afford uniform? This thing is not done in any civilized society. It's bad. Thank you, and God bless you.
You're welcome. Let's go back to WhatsApp right now. Let's see. All right. I think the principles are good evening. So if it's just for identification, why can't we use the color of socks to differentiate the JSS3 students? There are lots of options to differentiate the students. 1, introduction of a tie at a small amount. 2, socks color. 3, a band added to the uniform, etc. I think the principals are just being wicked and insensitive. We're trying to look for different channels to make money. Listen to the lady in your studio. I can't help but feel angry. As much as I know that things are hard, she should understand that one, things including clothing and sewing are costly now. A change in most cases is usually requested by the JSS3 student who want to feel they are now an exit class, and so it must be different. Knowing the state of the country where we are, she has by action relieved the principal of his job. Nigerians are simply impossible. Oh, seriously? So students now dictate to principals and school heads what they should do. That's remarkable. I didn't know that. That principal is just being creative to make money for himself and nothing else. That is corruption. I thank you guys for your effort to expose this one. Austin from Omoku. Nonsense from ITP, welcome. Please go on.
Good evening.
Hi, go ahead.
Please, this change in uniform, will it affect the intellect of the children? Will it make them better or something?
I like that question.
Pardon me, can you repeat the question?
Infrastructure. Will it give them better teachers? Will it make their life better or anything? I mean, does it add any value to them educationally? If the answer is no, then it's nonsense. Really. We should be building schools that are inclusive, where every child feels that they are part and parcel of a school, of a community. Not using subtle ways to this one is the SS1, this one is SS. See, in whatever we're doing, it's not little, but in a period it snowballs maybe into bullying, into someone might even commit suicide because he's been harassed by a senior who feels that he shouldn't dress like him. I don't know why we should labor on things that don't add value. This is just nonsense. Thank you.
Well, that's a great information as well. We have to wrap this up right now. So, Ifeoma, I should wrap up this conversation with you. What steps do you intend to take going forward? Have you decided on that?
I'm yet to take a decision because I expect the principal, after the discussion I had with him in his office today, and this press release, to retrace his steps, to have a rethink, because I made him to understand that this action that he wants to take has no educational value on the children. It's not just about the money, but it's about what we are inculcating in this country, in this our country called Nigeria. So if there is no retracing of step by him, if he's bent on going on with his actions, that means I have warned him and I am free to take necessary actions further.
All right. We'll be reaching out to the Education Ministry officials, also Rivers State Universal Basic Education Board as well, to get their take on this matter. And once again, an invitation to the principal of Community Secondary School Rumekine to come clarify issues or clear the air, as the case may be. Anytime at your earliest convenience, you can come on Hard Facts. Thank you very much to my guest, both lawyers, Ifeoma Agbo and Stephanie Ekpebulu. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commercial break right now. We've got the major news top of the hour at 6 p.m. and open season comes up after that. I'll be back.